Learning how to control your mind is paramount to creating life intentionally. We live in a universe of possibility, but there are many things we learn to do automatically that don't help us create what we truly want. And we don't have to keep doing these things once we understand how and why they happen, and once we have the tools to create the change. In this video, I'm going to explain how the mind operates in automatic ways and how to control it to create new results. Our minds are amazingly powerful, and understanding how they work is key to living a truly wonderful life. When we know how we operate internally, we gain the power to change circumstances within our reality. Let's quickly make a distinction between the brain and the mind. The brain is an organ in your body, but it isn't the mind. It's a visible, tangible part of you wherein electrical impulses reside. This organ coordinates the physical body, both voluntary and involuntary actions, by transmitting these impulses. But you use your mind to think. The mind has been said to reside within the physical space of your brain, making it a vessel for thought processes and reason, but it can reach far beyond that. The mind creates a flow of energy and intelligence. In fact, it permeates every cell in your body. It's an invisible part of you that's the observer, the perceiver, the thinker of thoughts, and the experiencer of things. And it can reach past the physical apparatus with imagination and determination. In essence, the mind is awareness of consciousness. Now let's imagine your brain as a car. It has an engine that can be operated. Within you are 3 different operators that can take the driver's seat. Those drivers are the survivor, the motivator, and the visioner. One of these operators is always driving, but only one may occupy the driver's seat at any time. Additionally, any of these drivers can pick up the steering wheel and become the driver at any point. Now let's talk about the function that each driver is responsible for. The survivor operator is focused on, survival. This operator will be in charge during perceived life-threatening situations. These may be actual life-threatening situations, or they may be stress-related situations, which are also perceived as a threat. If you find yourself feeling stressed, this will most likely put you in survival mode, keeping the survivor in charge of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, and therefore causing reactions that relate to that stress in a survival type of manner. These reactions include flight, fight, and what is referred to as freeze. Flight causes a person to experience anxiety and oftentimes flee situations. Symptoms of anxiety are worry, nervousness, unease, and uncertainty. A few reactions to these symptoms include confusion, escaping situations, physical pain such as chest pain, increased heart rate, weakness, shakiness, sweating, and insomnia. In a nutshell, stress and anxiety are harsh on the mind and body, and over time can create a host of physical and mental ailments. The fight reaction causes aggressiveness. Symptoms of this include being easily angered, becoming confrontational or antagonistic, and lashing out at others, either verbally or physically. The freeze reaction causes symptoms of helplessness, depression, nervousness, and an inability to have hope. With any of these types of reactions just listed, you can be sure that the survivor driver is operating the engine of your brain. Everything becomes a threat, and reason is tossed out of the window of said car. As you can see, allowing the survival portion of the brain to be the operator in times when it's not truly related to physical survival can be detrimental both physically and mentally. However, the survivor driver only learns to become the main operator of you when it's activated enough times, such as in the case of taking in constant stress from work. This will cause a person to experience anxiety, aggressiveness, and/or helplessness more often when a real present danger is not in place. But as I stated earlier, the other 2 operators can hop into the driver's seat anytime. The next driver that can be in charge of your operating system is the motivator. This driver works directly with the pain-pleasure principle, making choices that avoid or decrease pain and/or that connect with things that are pleasurable. This is similar to the survivor operator. However, the motivator is more concerned with defining the best route to create the most optimal outcome, rather than being stuck in anxious thoughts and feeling states that can block sight of a positive end result. This makes the driver a step up in the list of the three operators, but it also has its downfalls. The motivator connects to your deepest emotions and your memories for reference, including your beliefs, values, and past decisions. It very quickly assesses meaning of situations, whether that situation will lead to pain or pleasure, and what to do about it. Everything that can influence a decision you make is contained within the motivator, including why you like or dislike specific things, people, and experiences. This includes your passions, which are positive motivators, and your addictions, which keep you from creating things you'd like to experience in life. This is the operator that is most often in the driver's seat on autopilot for most people. As it thrives on dopamine, a feel-good neurotransmitter, it prefers instant gratification. When we experience a trigger based on our memories and emotions, the motivator will enact a behavior automatically, and that behavior will almost always align with what the motivator deems as the biggest reward, again relating to the pain-pleasure principle. I created a video that explains the dopamine and the motivator in great length, and I'll leave a link in the description for those who haven't seen that. But for now, it's important to know that when the motivator is driving you, it makes decisions automatically, leaving free will in the backseat of the car to observe what is happening. You could say that the motivator is a bit bossy and demanding and likes to be in control of what's happening. It prefers the driver's seat. But the third operator is the creator of new experiences, and it can easily grab onto the steering wheel when we move past the organ of our brain and allow our conscious mind to use its free will. That operator is the visioner, and it has the ability to change everything about a person's perception and life. This driver thrives on imagination, creativity, and innovation. Unlike the survivor and the motivator, when the visioner has its hands on the wheel, new things can be created and experienced. It doesn't dwell on the past or get stuck in helplessness, as it has no boundaries. It can move beyond the current reality into a space of fresh ideas, observations, and encounters. This operator is the intended captain of the ship, so to speak. However, a person must intentionally put it there as often as possible in order to override the other drivers and activate it as such, something we are rarely taught. The visioner steps past fear of rejection, fear of failure, and fear of criticism, something the other two drivers are incapable of doing. It brings out faith, empowerment, and a calm demeanor. With its position as operator, possibilities begin to open up. Once this takes place, evolution occurs in perception and new realities can be experienced. Placing the visioner in the operating position puts you in control of your mind and in turn your brain, your actions, your reactions, and your reality. And it's simpler to do than you may think. If you want to learn how to control your mind and activate the visioner on command, follow this simple process. In any situation where you are not enjoying the experience, identify which driver, the survivor or the motivator, is in charge of you in that moment. For instance, if you feel anxiety, anger, or helplessness, it will be the survivor. If you are experiencing instant gratification that does not align with long-term goals, or an experience you would rather be having, including addictive behaviors, such as working when you have the choice to do something else, or overeating when you want to lose weight, the motivator will be driving. Once you've identified which driver you are replacing, use your mind to imagine that driver going into the back seat of your operating system and seeing the visioner taking the wheel. Then ask yourself these questions regarding the experience you are adjusting. Does this work for me? How do I feel in this moment? What feelings would I like to be experiencing? What can I think of in this moment to replace this feeling state with one that I will benefit from? How can I create this situation differently, even if only with my mind in this moment? What would be a better outcome? What changes do I need to permanently make to manifest this better outcome? What decisions could I make right now that move me in the direction of the better outcome? You may also choose to ask these types of questions in a meditative state. In asking these questions, you activate the vision or driver. Just by identifying any of the type of behavior and experience you would like to change, this adjustment can be made. And these questions allow the mind to move past what is happening into a space of creativity where something new can be manifested and experienced. The solution to changing your reality is to gently remove the survivor and the motivator, allowing them to just go along for the ride as the visioner takes the wheel. This is how you learn how to control your mind. We're taught to generally allow our motivator to drive our brain, but when we allow the visioner to be in charge, we can create new experiences. The decisions we make regarding the driver bind us to the reality we experience. And with the creative power of the visioner, new feeling states are experienced. When new feeling states are experienced, new energetic ripples are sent out into the field around you. And the more you do this, the more you begin to solidify a new reality in the physical world. So you can see, learning how to control your mind is truly the key to creating an amazing life.